gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Higgins, recognized.
Dr. Schmidt, in your long list of accomplishments, your bio, you've helped to uncover much of the geological history of the moon and its relationship to the early history of the Earth, further definition of the violent impact history of the Earth during the period when life began, the potential role of the largest impact basin in the evolution of the moon, identification of samples of the lunar mantle, the definition of the sequence of formation of 3 large lunar basins. The list goes on, but it does not mention that you were certainly the only pilot in history that almost landed a lunar module on an aircraft carrier.
Well, thank goodness the Navy moved the carrier, because our guidance system was so good we were about to hit the carrier.
You were on target. I bring that up. That aircraft carrier was the USS Ticonderoga. My father was a Navy pilot in World War II and had the honor of serving on that aircraft carrier. My father was a fiercely patriotic man and did not trust the Chinese or the Russians. Perhaps by the nature of my DNA, but certainly through the course of my life and in view of recent events politically and space-based, neither do I. So my question to you, sir, is regarding America's interest in maintaining a persistent human presence in space, be that a human presence on the frontier and a low Earth orbit, geostationary, or an American human presence based on the moon, is it necessary that we involve international partners as we push the frontiers of the American space program?
I personally do not think it's necessary. I think it takes the United States to be the leader of the program, as it was in Apollo. We had international partners to some degree in Apollo. We certainly had a lot of international participation by some of the engineers, and the lunar sample analysis program was an international program. So yes, but it takes, I think, our leadership. I think we need to be in charge in order to provide an opportunity for international partnerships. But no partnership, I think, should be in the critical path. If you're going to go to Mars by way of the moon, that critical path has to be our responsibility. You can't be waiting for some other partner to deliver and to and again, I think it's just absolutely essential that there be a leader of these kind of programs.
I concur, and thank you, General.
Yes, sir. I'll echo what Dr. Schmidt said. America needs to be a leader. If you're going to be first in the world, you need to be first in space. And we have to be a leader. And I've been deeply involved with the International Space Station, the partners. I've been deeply involved earlier with the Soviets and now the Russians. And to me, you have to completely differentiate the Soviets from the Chinese. It's a whole different world. And I've been to Russia maybe 35 times. In fact, I adopted 2 Russian orphan boys. So I think I understand a lot of the Russians and what it is today. It takes too long to go into it in this committee, but the Chinese are a complete different type of effort. And so I agree with your father on the Chinese completely. And in the Russians, it's really one more of a nationalistic. It's now materialistic too, but it's a different world, and it takes too long to go into it here.
That's a unique and valuable perspective. I would encourage my colleagues and a member of this committee to maintain a sharp focus on our national security as we move forward with our plans to advance the causes of NASA. And I certainly agree with this panel that has appeared before us, that we need to be completely focused with the mission parameters as laid out over the next 15 or 17 years. Seems to be the window. And I look forward to working with my committee members and colleagues on both sides of the aisle and make it happen. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.